this too.
Can't now, I do.
Go.
Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. Today we're doing a relationship Q&A with my husband John, and
Hello.
we're going to answer all your questions you had, so let's get right into it. Okay, the first question is, how did you meet?
Craigslist.
We met actually at Beach Week after we graduated high school in Myrtle Beach.
My third beach week. Her first.
At Atlantic Paradise, right?
Right.
Is that what it's called?
Beach week in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, I said that.
Oh.
One of his friends was dating one of my friends, so that's why he ended up coming to the beach, and that's how we met. Where was our first date?
Our first date was, well, do you count the ones in Myrtle Beach where we went to restaurants together?
Or the phone party?
The foam party. We call it the foam.
What was that at? Tiki or something? No. What was
The
that?
after
The
deck.
after deck. The foam party at the after deck.
That's our first date.
Mm-hmm.
Unofficial.
Yeah. What made you guys fall for one another? I liked you because you were funny. That's how my first impression of you. Actually, my first impression of you was you telling me to stop laughing so you could sleep. But
Yeah, you were super annoying at first. You're still annoying. But it's obvious if you follow her channel. You know she's super smart, intelligent, kind of funny, even if you don't mean to be.
Thanks. I thought you were funny, and then you were thoughtful, and you're fun.
Yeah, and you're
random.
And you're caring and all the other superlatives.
Oh
all
yeah,
those other
you're
ones.
all those ones
Yeah,
too.
and I just love you.
How long have you been together, and how long were we together before we got married?
4 years we've been together. In 10 years?
We've been together for 10 and a half years now. And
Time
we've
flies when you're not having fun. What was the
how
rest
long
of-
have we been married?
Been married 4 years.
5 years. Actually, you're kind of right, because
Right.
remember we got married.
4 years from Maldives, 5 years from our
Yeah.
actual marriage.
We got married at the courthouse 1 year before we actually got married in the Maldives.
Right, so we're both right.
yeah. Go team.
I was more righter.
Do you get along with each other's families? Yeah, we get along with each other's families.
Most of the time. No, I think we do both love each other's families. We both have relatively small families and some pretty crazy childhoods that led to small families, but we do get along with those who we stay in touch with.
Yes. Any major bumps along the road to marriage?
A few.
A few.
When we were younger, we met when I was 21.
And I was 18.
And I was 18. So
and then
you
we moved in together like 2 months later.
So you can only imagine how that went. So I'd say the first couple years was us learning each other and learning what we would deal with and what we wouldn't. And then ultimately for me, it was the good outweighed the bad. And there was no question for me that she was the one I was gonna marry, and now here we are today.
Aww. What does it take to have a successful relationship?
Patience.
That's a really good one.
Lots of patience.
I say, in addition, compromise.
Right. I think the happily ever after is only for the movies. Everything's fun and games when you get together in the first 3 months or even year, maybe even 2 years, depending on when you meet. But they call that what, the honeymoon phase?
Yeah.
And then after that, you really start to learn each other and what you do like and what you don't like. And I think if you don't have similar goals and dreams and aspirations, is that right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I thought that's when you can't breathe right. What's that? Aspirate.
That's aspiration. Yeah. I think they can both mean that.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I am in grad school, by the way.
I'm not. High school degree barely, so I get a pass. But yeah, if you don't have all that similar goals and stuff, then I don't think it's going to work out, or you'll be fighting each other, not supporting each other. And while you can make that work, it's going to be a long, miserable relationship, if you ask me.
I agree. How do you guys make your relationship work while in school?
Patience.
Compromise.
Right. I think that's a similar, right?
I think my main answer would be you'd have to prioritize, because sometimes I have to prioritize like our time together over other stuff. If I'm taking too long studying or something like that, I just need to put it aside sometimes, and we'll go to dinner. We go to the gym together every single night, so that's like a huge thing we do together when I'm not on call or working at night. So
Yeah, I'd say be aware. I get busy as well with work, and we both get caught up, but be aware that work and whatever you're working on right now is short-term relative to your relationship and what's more important to you. And obviously that's for us, that's our relationship, because that's going to be forever. So that should take priority all the time. With that being said, if you have a test the next day, maybe you shouldn't stay up and watch Netflix with your loved one just because you want to hang out. Maybe you should prioritize a little bit better than that.
do you want kids? Did you ever worry about that when deciding to go back to school? So no, I didn't worry about that when deciding to go back to school. That wasn't a factor for me at all. We are actually right now, should I tell them?
Maybe surprise coming, maybe. No, that sounds
No,
like you're
it sounds
pregnant.
like you're pregnant. We're in the process right now of becoming foster parents, so we're only a couple weeks into the process, and it takes a few months, and we always wanted to do that, so we decided to start that process now. And while we won't have kids of our own, like biologically, we do want to foster, and adoption as a possibility in the future. Oh, this is a good one. Did you guys go vegan together at the same time, or was one of you vegan when you met? So no, neither of us were vegan when we met. I went vegetarian after we met for a while and kind of went back and forth, and then I went vegan a few years ago, and then you went vegan like right after me, right? Like
Right.
a month after.
I think about a month after. But yes,
Yeah.
you went vegan, and then I went probably about a month later. I went on January 1st.
And I went vegan on Thanksgiving, so
Right.
it was like about a month. What is the biggest challenge you've come across as a couple since starting CRNA school, and how did you get through it?
I don't think we've had any huge challenges that we didn't go through with your bachelor's degree
Yeah.
and in the beginning of our relationship. I think we both knew what we were getting into. And it was a long discussion.
Yes.
Discussing if she should go back to school or not, the pros and the cons. And we both knew what we were getting into.
I think the biggest challenge that we have going on right now, which isn't really a relationship challenge, but it is a big decision, is that we're both self-employed, and we used to be on my hospital insurance, and right now we need to get insurance, private health insurance, and the cheapest one we can find is like around $800 or $900 a month just for two of us. So that's a huge challenge right now. We haven't come to a solution. If you have any suggestions, leave them below.
I say we wrap
Yeah.
ourselves in bubble wrap for a whole year.
Yeah.
And stay really safe.
And we'll wear masks.
And just work from home.
Does your relationship seem different since starting school? If so, how?
I would say like anything else we've gone through, I would say stronger. I know that might sound cliche or corny, but everything you go through together should make you stronger or learn each other a little bit more. And I think that's what we did here. You know, again, I think it's not so much different than your bachelor's program.
Yeah.
It is a little bit more busy. It's a little bit more stressful. We are living in a whole new area that we didn't know, but it's worked out for the better, I think. And we both learned a ton through this experience.
Yes. And John learned how to successfully maneuver my mental breakdowns and predict what I'm about to have.
I've had plenty of practice with that.
Are most people in CRNA school already married, or do most people finish school first? So this is actually very split. There's a lot of people in my class who are married. There's a few people who just got engaged. Somebody actually got married during our program, and there's also a lot of people who aren't married yet. So I really don't think the CRNA school has a direct impact on the timing of marriage. This leads into another question that I had right after this, which is like, how would a new relationship be challenging in CRNA school? And it would be challenging because you're trying to get to know each other when one of you is extremely busy and barely has any time. So the other one might feel like you're not thoughtful or not like putting them in as a priority, getting to know them, hanging out with them, things like that. So if you don't have a very patient and understanding other partner, it can definitely be challenging trying to get used to a new relationship while you're in school.
I would add that if there's any hesitation at all before starting the program inside of your relationship, figure that out first, right?
Yeah.
And a shout out to the ones in your school that are having kids during this.
Oh, yeah.
And the residents in our building that are having kids during this program. Thumbs up to you. I don't know how you do it.
I don't know.
Well, we say that, and then we literally just said we're trying to foster
Yeah.
kids, but really, I don't know how you would
We'll
do a
figure
brand
it out.
new newborn baby, right?
This one's for you. John, are there times when you feel intimidated by Rihanna, and has it ever affected your relationship? Are you guys competitive with each other?
I wouldn't say intimidated, I would say motivated. If your partner intimidates you, I think that would be a problem. I would say motivates. Perfect examples is the YouTubes. We both started our YouTubes around the same time, and yours is going really well and mine not so much, but that motivates me, right? I don't so much get intimidated or wish that yours wouldn't do so well.
Yeah.
I hope yours does extremely well. I hope you have 2 million followers and I still have 100. That's fine by me, but that motivates me. I hope that your partner doesn't intimidate you. If that is the case, maybe that's a talk you should have.
Yeah, I think that's true. Like, we push each other and motivate each other, and when one of us is feeling like less motivated, we kind of like, we balance each other out and encourage each other. So are we competitive? We're not. We are competitive. I wouldn't say we're like unhealthily competitive with each other, but if we're like playing a game or playing a sport or something like that, we're both pretty competitive.
Right. I think
Yeah.
that if we are both doing something, we both try to win. We don't really let the other one win.
Yeah.
Unless it's like maybe a video game or something. Eventually I have to let you win.
You don't let me win. What are some of the responsibilities John has to take on that you're in school now, and how does he manage that with his own busy schedule? I'll let you answer that because I wonder what you think.
We still share a majority of the responsibilities. She does all the cooking and she always has, which is a godsend for me because I don't know how to cook. All right, I don't have the patience to cook. But there's things that I do and take care of all the electronics and ordering the computers, and then I also clean the house and I take care of I even clean the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
Even the toilet.
Right, I take care of all that stuff. So I think we each have our lanes.
Yeah.
We each have our lane. I take care of the cars, right? I do all that stuff and she takes care of the cooking, and you pitch in other places as well. But we just have developed our lanes. It's not so much she cooks because she's the woman. She's just the better cook. If I was the better cook, I'd be cooking.
Yes. What is the biggest sacrifice we've made since me starting school?
Money and time?
Yes.
Time first, then money.
Definitely. And then if you wanted like a physical sacrifice of something we're actually giving up, it's definitely travel right now, because we both love to travel. And right now we can't travel as much as we're used to, so.
Right, I think that's been the hardest part for us, is living in one spot for 3 years.
In your relationship or a relationship of your classmates, are there ever temper tantrums because you don't have enough time to dedicate to your partner? I wouldn't say I've ever felt like you had a temper tantrum because I didn't have enough time.
Well, I think that would be selfish of me.
Yeah.
Temper tantrums in general, yeah, I think every relationship has those, but never because I'm like, you're studying too much, you hate me. Like, I'll say that jokingly, but she knows I'm joking, but I would never be like, you got to put the school books down or stop going to class because I need more attention. Again, that would be counterproductive. And again, you both have to know what you're getting into when you sign up for this program.
Definitely. And I haven't heard of anything like that going on with my classmates. When I was in like undergrad, I remember that happening sometimes with people talking about it, but we were a lot younger then, so that might have played a role. I think people who are going into CRNA school probably prepared their partner pretty good because they knew what was about to happen. So how do you get this is a deep question. How do you get someone to love you and stay with you for the long haul? Other than just being yourself, relationships seem hard to get into. That's a hard question. We're probably not the best experts because we basically started dating super young, so we haven't dated a whole bunch of other people. But
I don't think you can get someone to love you. I think that's got to kind of be natural. That is tricky. I think if you're going to try to force somebody or get somebody to love you, you're probably going to fail almost every time. That's got to be something that both of you want to happen.
Or you'll be like trying to be who they want you to be instead of being yourself because you want them to love you and you think you need to be somebody else maybe. But if you feel like you're trying to get somebody to love you, I think that's probably not the right person.
I think a thing that people should do when they first meet, if I could give relationship advice, take it for what it's worth, I would ask what each other's goals are right out the gate, right? Where are you at in life and where do you want to be? And if you guys don't match up there, I'm not saying that's the end of it, but it could give a sign that it might not work.
That's a good point. Do your families live near you? Is it difficult being away from them? They live about 4 hours away, and my sister lives in Raleigh, and our families both live in Virginia, and it's not difficult really being away from them because we have so much like communication.
Technology.
Yeah, because we have so much technology now, so we like video chat and stuff like that, and we've been travel nursing for the past 2 years before this, so we haven't been living at home since 2015 anyway, so we're used to being away, so this isn't much different. What places do you guys plan on traveling in the future? This is a fun question.
Everywhere.
Yeah, that's all I was gonna say too. Immediately, we're going to actually Anguilla in 2 weeks, so we're really excited about that. Anguilla, St. Martin, and Saba. We're going to a few different islands. And then if you're talking about living, we definitely want to go back to the West Coast. We want to live back in California, Alaska.
Maybe in another country.
Yeah.
It really depends on where she's able to transition as a CRNA, if I'm able to transition my business to where we're going. Don't necessarily would have to work there, but short term. But if we could work there long term, that would make it more feasible to move to another country.
Yeah, definitely. And we just love to travel, so it'll be super exciting.
Right.
We're gonna go on a big trip when I graduate, but we're not sure where yet. So, have your parents been supportive of both of you? Like, I guess our relationship is what they mean. And yes, we never had an issue with that at all, so.
Right. I think at the beginning, all parents have questions like, who is this or who is that and what's going on, especially when we weren't doing well in the beginning. But now they're, I would say, 100% supportive of us and our relationship.
Yeah, definitely. And then the last question is, what advice would you give to somebody trying to deal with their partner going through CRNA school?
I think I kind of gave it throughout this vlog, but I would sit down and have many long discussions, not just one or two, probably about 20 or 30 really long discussions about what it means to go to CRNA school, the time, the money it takes, if you have kids, who's going to watch them, all of that stuff. You know, I think the money and the time is a huge concern too. You know, me personally, I always care about the debt, obviously, if y'all know me, But besides that, the time away from each other, and it's just temporary. It's 3 years. You have to keep that, well, 3 or 4 years, right? Depending on the program.
2 or 3.
2 or 3 years,
but it
sorry.
will be only 3 in the future. So.
Okay, so 2 or 3 years, only 3 in the future would be, consider that's a short-term sacrifice for a long-term goal. And we came to terms with that.
Yeah, so definitely worth it. And for the actual person attending CRNA school, the advice I would give them is just to prioritize your partner sometimes. Obviously, you need to prioritize school, but remember, school's temporary and your partner is going to be there forever, hopefully. So just make time for them. I know it's stressful and you get completely stressed out and it's hard to kind of like disconnect from that, but sometimes you need to. So, yeah.
That's
Anything
it.
you want to add?
I don't think so. Subscribe to her channel.
Yeah.
Like her channel, because she's awesome.
I'm gonna link below John's channel and our channel that's not really it's not really official. We don't upload on a regular schedule. We do have a channel that we put our travels on and some of our like weekend adventures and stuff like that. So I'll link both of those channels below and you guys should definitely check them out. Definitely check out his channel because he's the reason that we're not in debt and we're going through CRNA school with no student loans. So yeah, if you guys have any questions or comments, leave them below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and John will be in more vlogs coming up because we're going to be vlogging while we're on vacation in Anguilla. So as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.
See you guys later.